we will introduce you our wonderful app called Peekify, Curiosity that Connects. So first, let's talk about how our presentation will go today. So we'll introduce our team. Then we'll go over a quick overview of our project and our personas. Then we'll do a wonderful demo. And then we'll talk about our tech stack and our challenges. And at the end, we'll talk about our future features. So now let's talk about our team. So first, we have Mio, the DJ, who took care of the Spotify API. Then we have Nara, the wizard, who took care of WebSocket and the backend. Then yours truly, Francis, the CSS whisperer. I was the tech lead and I took care of the front end. Then we have Soshi, the legend, who was full stack and touched a little of everything. Then we have Kaise, the amplifier, who took care of Amplify and deploying our app. So about our app, we're all curious, whether we want to admit it or not. Well, did you ever wonder once in your life, what is the person next to you listening to? Of course you did. Everyone did. So our mission is to connect people through this curiosity. So first, Nada will talk about personas and our user scenarios.
Okay, thank you, Francis. So I'm going to introduce you to our personas. Here's Chad Pearson. You may think he's creepy, but actually he's your average guy. He's 32 years old. He works from home. He's a freelancer graphic designer. And his usual behavior, he works at cafes. And sometimes he feels isolated from working remotely and always wondering what other people are doing around him. He's a little bit sneaky. And his goal is to find new form of connection, a quick form of connection without wasting more time. And maybe he can find interesting music and podcasts. So typical day for Chad, he's getting work done at Starbucks, and he takes a break every hour. And then he looks at people around him and he's wondering, what are they listening to? He sees a lot of people with big headphones banging their heads, enjoying their time. And he's really into he wants to know what they're doing or listening. So what he does is he launches Peekify and he starts to check music that people are listening to around him. He doesn't necessarily know who's listening to what, but he can know if they post their names or they want to connect through commenting. So Chad is picky, but occasionally he gives a like or a comment. And our next persona, the typical university student. Her name is Masami. She's 19 years old. She's a university student, and her typical behavior, she's passionate about K-pop, just like usual university students. And she often posts stories on Instagram and nobody cares about her music. And she most importantly has a mission. She wants everyone to fall in love with K-pop. This is her most important mission in life. So what she does is she wants everyone to share her interest. And also she wants to share some interesting podcasts from now and then. But mostly she wants to be validated. So she wants a lot of likes all the time. She's happy when she gets a lot of likes. So a typical day for Masami. She's at the university during her break. She wants to let people know about her favorite latest K-pop song. So what she does is she launches Peekify and she just waits for the likes to come. So I'm sure you're all wondering what the app looks like. So I'm gonna let Francis show you how amazing it looks.
Great, thank you, Nada, for the great presentation of our persona. So let's take a peek into our app. So here is the main screen of Peekify. So you can register an account and log in. So here we're gonna log in. So 3, 2, 1, log in. Great, and this is the main screen of Peekify. Great, so Peekify has a feed. So if we go down here, we can see our feed with different songs. We have our friend Damien here. Oh, he's a fan of BTS. Wow, you'll see him later. He's a big fan of DP. I didn't know. Wow. Kaise likes it. Oh, that's cool. So we can see our comments being popped as soon as they are written, basically. Oh, everyone likes it. Oh, me too. I like BTS. I like it. Let's comment. And even I'm there. And I'm going to leave a like. Okay. Oh, everyone left a like. Oh, great. Okay, cool. So that's one of the features of Peekify. You can look at a feed of many different songs. That's pretty cool, right? So now let's go with our connection with Spotify. So here we can connect with Spotify by clicking, and I'm logged in. Perfect. Now let's see what I'm listening to in Spotify. I like hardcore stuff, so I will kind of want to share and see if other people share the same taste in music as me. So let's go here. I like some Karina Burana. Oh, that's a good song. Let's listen to it. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, that's hardcore enough. Let's go back to the app. Let's click on current song, and it's right there. I can also listen to it here if I want. Same, perfect. So I'm gonna share this, and hopefully some people share my taste. Oh, successfully posted. Great. So as you've seen, our app is a very unique look. It's very dark, and it has this kind of, I would say, neon look with like a lot of bright colors. So we wanted to give this kind of back alley, peak show type of app because it's about curiosity and seeing what people around you can listen to. And that's over here on the top corner. We have a peaking list that basically shows who you're following. And you can also change the radius of who is listening to what around you. If it's a 1 kilometer radius, only people close to you will. And let's see what people think of the song I posted. I'll go in my profile. Let's go here. Okay, Kaise loves it. Soshi thinks it's horrible. Guys, I don't know what's wrong with Soshi. He's my teammate, but he's been like just insulting my music tastes for a long time. I don't know. Anyway, he's such a bully with me. I don't know if he's like this with everyone. Let's see. Oh yeah, Masami here. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's see about Masami. I think, well, Soshi likes it. Okay, so I guess Soshi just doesn't like me. Okay, and here I can peek on her if I want to know what taste Masami has. Great. So, and another thing we have is we have a mobile version of our app because it's a mobile app. So here's a quick video of what it looks like on mobile. It's quite similar. Over here, the login and the feed is, you see, pretty nice, pretty easy to use. The comments, it's very similar, but it's a little different on mobile. Great. Okay, so thank you. Now let's continue with Soshi, who will, the bully, who will continue and talk about our tech stack.
Okay, thank you, Francis, for great demo and amazing app. But one thing I'd like to tell you that I am very kind person, but just you have terrible music tastes. Anyway, so let's take a peek at our tech stack. Okay, yes. Yeah, soじゃあ、テックスタックについて見ていきます。まず、フロントエンドについて。今回、私たちのアプリのフロントエンドは AWS 上にデプロイしています。これは React と TypeScript を用いて実装しています。で、今回、フロントエンドに限らずですが、すべてのプロジェクト、バックエンドで TypeScript を用いています。これによって堅牢なアプリケーションになるようにしています。そして、先ほどデモの最後に見せたように、モバイルでの使用も想定しています。モバイルだとこのような画面になります。これも PWA、プログレッシブ、ウェブアプリケーションという技術を用いてこれを実装しています。次にバックエンドについてですが、今回ヘロク上に2つのサーバーを立てています。1つは Node.js と Express を用いた Web サーバーです。これにより REST API を実装しています。この API によって他のユーザーの情報を取得してフィード画面に表示したり、また自分の聴いている曲をホストすることを可能にしています。そしてもう一つは WebSocket のサーバーです。デモの冒頭でお見せしたように、今回のアプリではリアルタイムでメッセージを送り合うことができます。これを WebSocket で実現しています。これについては NADA が後ほど詳しく説明してくれます。次にデータベースについては MongoDB を今回使用しています。これMongoDB によって拡張性の高いデータベースを作ることができ、これから私たちのアプリがさらに発展していくと思うので、それも可能にしています。最後に外部 API についてですが、今回、ジオロケーション API と Spotify の2つの API を使っています。まず、ジオロケーション API についてですが、これはブラウザに搭載されているもので、GPS の情報を取得することができます。この GPS の情報をもとに、自分に近いユーザーからフィード画面に並べるようにしています。次に、Spotify の API です。Spotify の API については、後ほどミショから詳しく説明があるので、軽く説明しますが、 この Spotify の API、Spotify が様々な API を提供してくれているので、それを用いて音楽を取得したり、シェアすることを可能にしています。また、Spotify の機能として音楽をシェアしやすくなっているので、今回、Peekify にすごくぴったりだと思って、この Spotify API を今回採用しました。続きまして、私たちが使ったテクノロジーやチャレンジについてを詳しく各メンバーから紹介してもらいます。最初は海星から説明します。海星お願いします。
Okay, thank you, Soshi. I will explain deployment. We used AWS Amplify, and the front end was deployed to AWS. We used Heroku to deploy the back end. We also deployed the back end in two parts, the web server and the WebSocket, as explained earlier. And next, challenging the deployment. Deploying the front end and deploying the back end was very easy, but connecting the front end to the back end was not too easy because the front end and back end were different. So environment variable and the base setting had to be set. As for environment variable, when using React, it was necessary to prefix the variable with a React app, and the build setting did not work unless the .yaml file was set. I was able to finally connect the front end to the back end by investigating and solving the coding one by one to solve everything. Next is the Spotify API. DJ Michel, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Kaise. And hi, everybody. I would like to talk about how we use Spotify API for two purposes. One is for authorization, and the other is getting music data. So for authorization first, the app, of course, needs authorization from the users to have access to their Spotify data. In this case, that means the ID of the music that they're listening currently on Spotify. So when the user hits the current song button, the front end will send the authorization request to the backend. And there, the backend will attach to the request credentials, the app's credentials saying that it's a valid application already registered with Spotify. And that credentials along with the request goes to Spotify. And at this point, the user is looking at the screen, which prompts them to agree or not, whether they want to link the app with the Spotify. And when they hit agree button, the Spotify will generate an access token. It's a permission for the application to have an access to their Spotify data. And that access token is returned back to backend server, and that's again returned back to the front end because that's where the access token is going to be used. Next, we have to get data, music data. So when the user hits the current song button, the access token is already there. So the front end can send a request to Spotify, and the Spotify will return the ID of the music that the user is listening now. And that's how the front end can show that music on the application. And when the user hits share button, the ID of the music will go to the backend, and the backend server will share that info with other users. And that's how all the users can look at each other's music. Now, there's something else that's really exciting about the app getting data from Spotify. Of course, I've used music ID and music data in my examples, but actually the app uses another API that returns the ID of the podcast that the user is listening to. And that API was launched in March 2020 last year. So it's really exciting that we were able to provide this capability to the users. So APIs are used to allow users to share and peek at each other's playing, but that's not all. Users can now actually comment and send likes on real-time basis. And Nada is going to talk about how it's done. Nada?
Thank you, Michelle. So now I'm going to talk about posting comments and commenting. We used WebSocket technology for this. And I'm going to explain the commenting implementation approach briefly to make it clear. So our approach is after the user is successfully logged in or registered, a valid JWT token is granted and a WebSocket connection is created. So after that, the user is redirected to the feeds page for commenting on feeds. However, the user has to be authenticated every time they comment on a feed, and this allows us to have the ability to control the user's comment behavior. So if the JWT token is still valid, then the comment is broadcasted to all currently connected users. Also, the comment is appended to alt comment and stored in the database. So I'll say the WebSocket features that we were successful creating were the broadcasting for comments to online users, authenticating comments, storing the comments and associating them correctly. We were able to handle errors, and we were able to resist limited number of comments on the feed page. So next, Francis will explain to you a peek in the future.
Thank you, everyone, for a nice presentation. Now let's see what are future features. First, we want to have a way to remove and block peekers. Like in my case, Soshi's always bullying me. Maybe I should block him. Next, peeker speak. So a way to have clusters of users and then move towards this cluster to speak to as many people as possible. And then a podcast listening party. As we mentioned, there's this new podcast API. It would be nice to have a way to comment in real time during listening to a podcast. And step 4, the most important, world conquest. Of course, it's always nice to conquer the world. Great. So in conclusion, if you get curious, embrace your inner peeker side and peekify your curiosity. Thank you for listening. Peekify is available, so please download it and check it out. And you can always contribute on our GitHub. Thank you.